Hey, what up, YouTube? Philly Sports 76, bringing you a in-person recap of the Sixers and Brooklyn Nets. Graphed them last night and got 10 autographs, but not great quantity, but some pretty good quality. So, first I'm going to talk about a little bit the Sixers, how disappointed I've been already. They started out pretty good, and I thought, they could be at least a sixth-place team without Andrew Bynum, and they have completely disappointed. They started out good, like I said, but I think their schedule has really screwed them. Whoever is in the NBA scheduling the Sixers really, slapped them in the face with their 8-game road trip, and like 3 of those games, actually 2, the Warriors are really good, but 2 of the 8 games were like winnable. I mean, looking at the games that they should have won, 2 of them were winnable. I mean, everything else was like the Spurs and the Thunder back to back. Like, come on now, can't put a team through that. That's pathetic. Anyway, the Sixers completely got blown out. I think I saw they've lost their last 3 games by a total of 66 points or something. That's ridiculous. And they're 15-21, not even in the playoffs in the Eastern Conference, which, honestly, if you take away the top 3 teams, not even the top 3, maybe top 3, the East is really a joke. If you take away Miami and the Knicks, I still think the Bulls are not going to be good. I don't know how they've been good, but whatever. Sixers struggling, and they really need Andrew Bynum, and if he doesn't re-sign, then, he'll be my number 1 most hated player if he doesn't resign and didn't even give an effort to come back. But that's just what I have to say. You probably don't care unless you're a Sixers fan. But anyway, let's get into the autos, which is what you care about. I got 10, like I said. I would say 3 are like really, really good. So 3 out of 10. That's good. Actually, 4. Anyway, got this Brooklyn Nets little sign thing. I don't know. Honestly, every player was off the court, and all the people were leaving to go back to their seats. And I'm going up the stairs, and I look on the ground, and there's this sheet, and there's 2 autographs on it. So I pick it up. I look around, see if anyone has dropped it, and no one's claiming it. So I just took it. So, anyways, 2 Nets autographs, and they're both really good. I mean, if you drop this guy must be pretty upset he dropped this. But anyway, Marshawn Brooks, pretty sick. I got him in Atlantic City. But the real surprise on this, Brook Lopez, that looks pretty sick. And this guy honestly must have known what he was doing, because it wasn't like some random guy just getting signatures on his ticket or something, but he got the light spot in a dark color and the dark spot in a silver, so he must have known something. But anyway, Brook Lopez, arguably, I think probably the best center, at least in the East, if not the NBA. I don't really know too much about the West, I'll be honest, but Brook Lopez with no Dwight Howard, Dwight Howard really playing awfully, and no Andrew Bynum, Brook Lopez right there. So there's 2 that I just picked up off the ground, and I don't think I stole that. I don't believe that I stole that. I looked around to see if they dropped it, and no one claimed it. So if you see $20 on the ground and no one claims it, you're probably gonna put it in your pocket, not just gonna put it back on the ground. Just saying. Anyway, so I went to the Nets side, and like I usually do, I really make up my mind as to what side I'm going to right when they open the doors, to just because by who's on the court. And so I saw some pretty good Nets players out there. I'll get into that a little bit later. And yeah, so I went to the Nets, but I did get 1 Sixers autograph when I was done the Nets, because they finished a little bit early. And both teams finished really early. They came off the court with like almost 50 minutes left still before the game even started. So, as soon as we got there, the players were coming off the court. That usually doesn't happen. Anyway, no Drew. The only thing I got signed by the Sixers was Dad on a studio. I'm 0 for 2 on studio cards on how they're coming out, honestly. I see studio cards come out a lot better with thicker blue Sharpies, but honestly, I just bought the Super Sharpie, and I didn't really flatten it out at all, and it looks like I just got it in a fine tip. So, yeah, it kind of sucks, but, oh well. Dad, still an autograph, and the last time I got it on the studio, came out, he signed in black, a faded black, and it wasn't good. Whatever. And he only signed 1 of 4 because I put my binder down, and because there was a bunch of people in front of me, so the only way I was going to get anything signed was if I just, like, shoved the card in. So I just, like, handed the card to him and picked that one because it was the best out of those. No Darrell, no one else for the Sixers, so I just won't show that stuff. Nets, I had a Sports Illustrated cover, and I brought that to the game. I actually took it off, and, yeah, that's that. No, I also thought that card would come out really sick, but Darren Williams wasn't signing. No decoys. Like I said, no Darren Williams. I'll get into that guy a little bit later. No Brook Lopez. Alright, this is the reason why I went down to the Nets, because I saw this guy, Gerald Wallace. I saw him and Keith Bogans and C.J. Watson, and I just thought, alright, Gerald Wallace, I'll go get him. So, yeah, it was only Nick Young, Thad, and Darrell for the Sixers, as usual. So I can get them almost every game. Like I got them against the Hawks anyway. So, yeah, Gerald Wallace, 1 of 5. And the net side was packed. I mean, I barely got in, me and my brother. If we were like 30 seconds later, we would have probably not even gotten an autograph because there was so many Brooklyn Nets fans who like came from Brooklyn. And I can already tell that's going to be a good series. No Blatch, no Brooks, only on that. If those teams ever collide in the playoffs, probably not this year though, but in a couple years or whatever, I know that's going to be a pretty sick series. Keith Bogans, 2 of 5. That's pretty cool. I got his towel in Atlantic City earlier this year, so that's cool. C.J. Watson. And honestly, this guy has the weirdest signature. Like, his signature is different every single time. And on my brother's, you'll see in his recap, if he even makes it, came out absolutely terrible. Like, it looked like he was just drawing on his cards. Like, seriously, that one right there is how it came out. Like, I was trying to copy how he did it, and it looks just like that. Like, that's how he signed. So that's for my brother, but came out actually pretty good for me. He actually, I guess, attempted to sign his autograph. So that's C.J. Watson. Chris Humphries. I'm not a Nets fan. My brother is, and so is like everybody around me. So I actually told Royd Rage 29 that we were like the only Sixers fans here because he was getting Nets autographs too. But anyway, Chris Humphries runs off the court, and I knew he wouldn't sign for anybody. He signed for like a couple people in the front. One was Royd Rage I saw, and like came over to where we were standing and signed like 2 or 3. Of course, my brother got him, but I don't even care. I hate the Nets. I mean, like especially this guy. I'm 0 for 2 on getting Chris Humphries just because he's kind of a jerk. He only signed a couple. He said he was in a rush, but I don't believe him. There was like 50 minutes left before the game even started. No one on the team sheet. And so anyway, the MOJO of the night, even better than Gerald Wallace, not Darren Williams though, is, hold on, one more, Joe Johnson. So I go over to the net side, and I see Gerald Wallace, but I didn't see anybody else except for Watson and Bogans. And I look up, and all of a sudden, Joe Johnson's just there. Like, I didn't even see him at first, but, so that's pretty cool. Joe Johnson was out, signed 2 of 8. Signed probably the 2 best cards. I mean, that past and present loaded looked nice, or that prestige, but, I really wanted him to sign this one, because, that's, like, the most unique card I have of him, and he signed the prestige. and they came out thin. But anyways, pretty sick, Joe Johnson. Anyways, I do have a couple minutes left, and I know I make really long videos, so sorry if you don't like that. But when I watch the YouTube recaps, I really like hearing stories rather than just here's my cards that I got signed, and that's it. So I'm gonna tell a couple stories. I have a couple minutes left. First, this little kid, I don't know. He goes to every Sixers game, and it's really starting to piss me off. He really almost steals all the game used, which is, next time I'm gonna step in front of him. I felt bad the first couple times, all right, it's a little kid, let him have it, but now he's just starting to piss me off. He must have got at least 6 game used items from this game. Honestly, no joke. Got Thaddeus Young's wristband, 2 towels from players that weren't even gonna give him the towel. The player just walked by and he ripped the towel right off their back. I mean, the player's not gonna do anything, but still. And he got Joe Johnson and Marshawn Brooks, I think. Joe Johnson and Marshawn Brooks shooter sleeves. And yeah, I don't really like that kid because he's pretty obnoxious too. It's not like he's a little kid, just nice little kid. He's an obnoxious little kid. Don't like him at all. And next time, I'm definitely gonna steal his game used. Just get in front of him, take it from him. He's stolen it. He's stolen enough from me. So yeah, hate on me, but Joe Johnson's shooter sleeve, I don't really care. That's I'd rather have that than be a nice person to a little kid. Anyways, and I'm sure he probably doesn't even know what to do with it. Whatever. Anyways, I don't care as much for him as much as I do the stupid security guards. And I'm really getting fed up with Sixers security guards. They're really absolute jerks. And so they have this thing where you can stay after the game if the players have family or whatever. They come out, and if you have special passes, you can stay. Now, me and my brother didn't have special passes, so this guy's doing his job by kicking us out, which I don't have a problem with. That's not the problem. But I asked him, how do you get these passes? And he just had to be a super jerk about it and start saying stuff like, oh, well, that's not any of your business. Or, I asked him, well, what about the next game? How do I get the passes for the next game? And he says there's not going to be a next game. What a jerk. I mean, he's not even doing his job by helping out, 2 kids, me and my brother, who, if you have to pay for the passes, then we're helping that guy get paid. So, if no one bought any tickets, that guy wouldn't even have a job. So if that just really pisses me off, how people have to be so grumpy all the time. And, that just really got under my skin yesterday. The least he could have done was say, I don't know how you get them. But instead, he had to say there's not going to be a next game, or you don't need to worry about how to get them. Thanks for being, a super jerk. And, yeah, so that security guard, really pissed me off. And what really pissed me off, too, about that is that he wasn't, an old guy, just, who's been doing it for, 50 years or whatever. He looked like he looked like he dropped out of high school, probably, 17 years old or something, or 18, and thinks he owns the place. So, yeah, what a jerk. So that's all I have to say. Quality over quantity. Hate the Brooklyn Nets. Not because they blew us out, just because I hate every other team, other than the Sixers almost. Basically any rival in the Eastern Division, or Atlantic Division. Just don't like them. But, they haven't surpassed the Celtics yet. Hate the Celtics most. So, sorry if I hate on your teams, but, that's how you gotta be when you're a fan. You can't be a nice fan to other rivals. So, anyway, sorry for the long video. Just thought I'd get that in. And, yeah, see ya. Oh, by the way, I have a couple more games coming up. Don't know if I'm doing the Rockets this Saturday, because tickets were expensive, and I have the Hornets coming up next week, the Spurs, and then there's a ton of games right around my birthday, so, maybe my parents will help me out there. And so, yeah, that's some upcoming videos. See you, YouTube.